As the global aviation industry continues to mount its recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic of 2020, there have been efforts and initiatives to restore some of the international air traffic that has been lost. While air travel is increasingly becoming more accessible, for the most part, the vast majority of the world's traveling public continue to remain grounded. This could change as the aviation industry groups are looking for ways to restore international air travel. One of the big initiatives that has been making the news lately are the digital travel passes and travel passports. This video is a general overview of the initiatives to launch digital travel passes and how it could change the way you travel in the future. After the COVID-19 pandemic and the ensuing travel restrictions imposed by varying countries around the world, several problems have been revealed that hinder the restoration of international air travel. The biggest problem has been the varying restrictions imposed by countries, especially when it comes to testing and quarantine requirements. With that, those who are currently able to travel are having to go through a myriad of resources just to get the relevant information in the current time as for what is required for entry to their destination country. This results in no standard process in documentation and processing of international arrivals, and for travelers figuring out the necessary requirements for travel, which currently adds stress to the situation of travel these days. To solve these problems, we enter the digital travel passes, which several organizations and countries are currently developing. As of now, there are several major organizations that are working on these digital travel passes. The most noteworthy is the International Air Transport Association with its Travel Pass initiative. In addition to IATA, the World Economic Forum also has their own initiative, the Commons Project. Meanwhile, some countries and states are working on their own digital travel passports and passes, such as the state of New York with its Excelsior Pass and Israel's Green Pass. Meanwhile, the European Union has its own version, the Digital Green Certificates, aimed for freeing access within the European Union states. While each of these digital initiatives are being worked on by different organizations, the general idea of how these will work are very similar. The travel passes will usually be on a mobile app form and will indicate whether a traveler is COVID-19 free or have been vaccinated. Travelers could enter their travel information and have their vaccination or testing results uploaded onto the app by accredited medical facilities. The information on the app could then be presented upon check-in at the airport or at border control upon arriving at a destination. So far, these applications are still in the development phase and gradually being rolled out. Case in point, the Ayata Air Travel Pass was first announced in late 2020, but it wasn't until early in March where the first test flight was conducted with a Singapore Airlines flight from London to Singapore. According to Ayata, there are over 29 airlines around the world that are currently collaborating with them and testing out the app. In a sign of progress, the first country to accept the travel pass for entry is Singapore, which started doing so on May 1st. As adoption is slow, the full adoption of these travel passes, such as the one from Ayata, will be made at a later time, based on the coordination with airlines, airports, and governments. The initiatives to launch travel passes do bring some benefits to travelers for the future, especially in the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic. For one, it does help standardize the processes and getting the documents required for travel, along with the added benefit of a future of having paperless travel processes. These initiatives to streamline paperless travel processing has been in the works before the pandemic, though they're mostly biometric systems, where the data could be stored in a central database for a period of time. The mobile app travel passes instead relies more on the traveler inputting the data as his or her own. While in theory the traveler may own the data, there are concerns of data privacy, as these apps are going beyond what most airlines are collecting in terms of data with the addition of personal medical information. Some of these initiatives have addressed this issue, especially with IATA stating the data will be encrypted, and using blockchain technology there will not be a central database, among certain security and privacy measures that IATA is taking with the app. This is echoed by the European Union, which stated that travel pass proposals should not have a central database, at least on the EU level, though the same cannot be said for the case outside of the jurisdiction. Another issue could be the case where travelers may have to download multiple apps in order to meet requirements for travel to certain areas and destinations. While there may be a standard global app, there will be some jurisdictions that may opt to operate their own apps for their citizens, to the inconvenience of the traveler. This could also pose problems with varying degrees of jurisdictions as to whether they will accept the travel passports and passes. In the United States, there are several states such as Arizona, Texas, Florida, and Utah that have banned the use of travel passports anywhere for their businesses. However, when outside, these residents may have to download certain apps in order to travel around. Also, I want to bring up that even though that these travel passes and passports may show that the person may be COVID-free or vaccinated, how would it stop a future pandemic? There have been reports of cases of COVID-19 infections of vaccinated persons, and while the focus is on COVID-19, there is no real effort to assess whether a person is vaccinated for other illnesses such as measles, various STDs, the norovirus or the stomach flu, Ebola, and the common flu, among the various illnesses that we could get on a daily basis. With that said, I wonder what your take on the idea of using these digital travel passes for the future of air travel. Would you be willing to use this on a future trip when you have the opportunity to do so? Or if not, why not? Are the digital travel passes the way to help jumpstart international air travel? In the meantime, I definitely hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks again for watching and have a great day.